That's true. Yeah, he'd still be the only melee character in the game.
Yeah. It's okay,
Because
guys. We
there
still
are
got the
some.
function of Hideyoshi.
Thank you, Kimura. How can I gain the upper hand?
Was that
Let's try
was that Marvel Infinite or Marvel 3
Marvel
that they said that
Infinite.
for?
this chance and leave him humbled.
It was attempted damage control by Combo Fiend to be like, yeah, no, you still got the function, even though we don't have Magneto, but we have Captain Marvel, who essentially plays the same. That was a key attempt at damage control. It did not work.
Yeah, I can see how that would cause people to go a little bit insane.
Yeah, it's sad though, because I get it, because like there's not really much you could do at a glance, because if you're just a Capcom rep, it's like you don't have any say really, but it's like, yeah, I mean, he still plays the same. Like, yeah, that's something. I feel bad for that situation.
In this instance, at least, I can sort of see why they would do that. There are some characters that aren't relevant anymore, or that just aren't popular, that maybe you want to keep their gameplay around, but that character has nothing more to add to the world. Like, for example, both Ieyasu and Yukimura both were spear users previously. Yukimura is a spear user, people like his gameplay, and he's still one of the poster boys, so just nix the spear from Ieyasu. Hideyoshi's gameplay was fun, but he has nothing more to do in the story since he's dead, so just pass that on to Ieyasu.
Yep.
And Mitsunari himself is technically an evolution of Uesugi Kenshin, who is present in a minor role in this game, but is sort of an evolution of his quick draw gameplay style.
Perhaps you're right.
True, yeah.
I'll
It's
be
like
taking
I
it.
think the correct term for that would be more like modernizing gameplay styles in a weird sort of way.
Yes. Yeah, that's a better way of looking at it. It's, to compare it to something, I guess, it's like, in Blaze Blue, the Murakuma units,
Yeah,
how they introduce a new one game over game, because each of them keep dying.
that's an interesting one too, because to my knowledge, I think only Lambda and New 13 actually play similarly. Mood 12, you know, Christina V with her ass hanging out, yay. She does play relatively differently than the other ones. Like, she plays pretty much like...
Really?
I think his name was Venom from Guilty Gear, the pool player that's black and gay. He's a great character, actually. He's really cool. I miss him.
Yeah, Venom.
Yeah, Venom. It's kind of like that, so... Man, how do I explain this? That's one of the things I do like about minimized rosters. It removes a lot of, like, redundancy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, like, it removes a lot of redundancy. It makes each character feel more, like, individual and unique. Like, that's why... This is going to sound incredibly weird. In Tekken, I am leagues more of an Armor King fan than a King fan. But when King was actually getting a couple of Armor King's tools going from Tekken's Tag 2 to Tekken 7, I was like, oh, so Armor King's definitely not coming back, but he has some tools from Armor King. Oh, that's really cool. That's really neat. We have a dedicated grappler now. Fucking sick. And then we brought back Armor King anyway, and he sold a lot. So it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Is it a case of the original character being more popular than the current incarnation?
It's a tricky one because like Armor King's technically been around since Tekken 1, so I think Armor King's always been more popular than King, but King's always been plenty popular in his own right. It's a bit of like both are super popular, but you accidentally made one more popular than the other one. It's like with Virgil and Devil May Cry.
Yeah, and then I mean it's funny in hindsight, but I think the last thing that anyone wants again is a Tekken Tag 2 situation.
Yes. No, I'm fully on board with that. We do not need like 3 capos.
You don't need 75 characters and for a quarter of them to play the same.
Yep. And like literally the only differences between some of them is like some minor frame data tweaks and 1 or 2 different moves, and that's it.
Yeah, as funny as it is, for Lily's butler to do her same flips and twirls and crap, that's really unnecessary.
Yep.
Or to make the guy that invented Jack to be playable either.
Okay, I do find Dr. Boscanovich's playstyle to be kind of funny, to be totally fair, but yeah, we don't actually need him to be playable. So yeah, to tie that back around. Actually, no, I feel like you're totally on board with this because, you know, we were talking about this earlier, Fire Emblem Warriors, and the multitude of, well, not only just the standard sword users, but also the Pegasus Knights.
Clones? Yes. Now there are 4 of them, and they play the exact same.
Were there 4 of them? I thought there was just 2 of them. Fuck.
There's
Cordelia and Hisoka, I know those 2, but who are the other 2?
There's Sita, and I want to say there's one
Oh,
more.
yeah. Well, I thought Sita uses a sword. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, she uses a spear.
Oh. That's weird. I thought she usually uses a sword, but alright.
I think Fire Emblem does the thing. God, it's been a long ass fucking time.
Yeah, right.
Since I've played any of them. But I think they do a thing where what class you are limits what weapon you can use to one of 2 categories.
I feel like you're right.
And Lance would probably be the more optimal in a situation where you're flying.
Yep.
Because realistically, that's longer reach, but in actual in-game mechanics, I think that actually makes more sense too. Because if I'm not mistaken, lances are faster than swords.
I think it's probably. I'd be willing to bet that.
No, I remember it now. Lances are faster than swords. Swords are more accurate and stable, and axes are slower but way more powerful, but have shit accuracy.
Yeah. Now,
which makes it really funny that Edelgard is the main character.
yeah. Now, where I get dubious is like I am okay with okay. I don't want it to seem like Bob is completely against clones of any kind. No, I am fine with some redundancy every once in a while, like, but it has to be controlled and it has to be distinct enough. The example I always go to is like having a base Goku and a Super Saiyan Goku. You know what I mean?
I think it depends on the capacity. How many is too many, and are they different enough to be cloned in the first place versus minor variation? Your Dark Pit, your Lucina, your what have you.
Yeah, exactly.
Are the 8? How do you qualify the 19 different forms of Naruto and Storm 4?
Yeah. So that's where it gets really dubious because you have like Echo Fighters in Smash, and then you have actual clone, like quote-unquote clone characters in Fighters. Everyone always kept going on about there's so many Gokus, but like literally each one of them plays so distinctly different that it doesn't matter too much to me. I think my limit is like 3 Gokus, personally speaking. Once I got to GT, I'm like, oh boy. But if each one of them is distinct enough like what they represent and like what they do, I think that's totally fine. Like for like seasons 2 and 3 of Dragon Ball FighterZ, Super Saiyan Goku was actually no. Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan Goku was the absolute best Goku, period. Season 3, bottom tier. Just immediately down to bottom tier. And then Base Goku did everything he did, but better.
I think the ultimate deciding factor is how all of your clones are represented on the character select screen. Do they get their own individual icons, or are they like skins or something you can pick on a slider on the original version of the character's icon?
Yeah.
Like Raging Blast, for example. There is only one Goku, but you can individually choose which form of Goku you want to start the fight as.
That does help with not having the character select screen being absolutely flooded, yeah.
And in a much older example, in Clash of Ninja 2, being able to hit the X button while highlighting Iruka to play his music.
Yep.
He's the same character. He's
yeah, they're literally the exact same character.
They're
literally the exact same character, just different voices and models.
Don't tell me I'm getting rusty.
And he doesn't take him an extra slot. He's just press this button while highlighting the character to turn into the other character.
Yeah.
So like how Samus and Zelda were handled in Brawl, where it was just press L or something to turn into Sheik or turn into Zero Suit on the select screen, as opposed to giving them separate icons.
Now, where this argument gets a little bit weird is like with Smash Ultimate, where literally the only difference between like some of the characters, like with Richter and Simon, is that I think Simon's no. Was it? Yeah, no, it was. Like, Simon's Holy Water acts as fire, whereas Richter's does not. What kind of possible difference does that serve? One can make the exploding crate actually explode, and the other one does not. That's literally the only real difference. Samus and Dark Samus, I think Dark Samus has a better like roll dodge because she doesn't form into a ball. Lucina, that where it gets weird is like Lucina and Marth. Like you look up in a glance, it's like, oh yeah, no, they play literally the exact same. You wouldn't think it, but for the longest time, Lucina was like S tier and Marth was like mid tier.
It's about the range and the difference in how effective you are at each range. Direct close combat, mid range, and well, those characters aren't doing anything at long range. But
so you're almost, you actually are almost on. You're on the right track with that, but it's for a more specific reason. It's because of the Tipper Sword. Smash Ultimate is so fast that it's impossible to land Tipper Swords connects anymore with Marth. Whereas Lucina, it's like doesn't matter. You hit him with a sword, hit him with a sword. So yeah,
yep,
that's part of it.
And then you've got cases like Rom, who is a hybrid of two existing characters.
Yeah, basically just Roy without the weak hit spot, except he's got Ike's recovery, and that's it.
So there's a lot of different ways it can be handled, but the thing is, if you do it in a way that's subtle, I don't think most people are going to mind.
Yeah.
Smash Ultimate's roster is enormous, but they also give you an option that I don't know that anyone on this planet has ever actually used, and that's to actually consolidate the select screen. You can layer all of the Echo Fighters on top of each other.
That's something
I don't know where that button is, and I don't think anyone has ever actually done that before, but that's an option.
That's something I really pray that happens with Tekken 8 because it's gonna happen. Holy shit, Tekken 7 sold so well. That I do hope that happens because there is also a lot of redundancy on a Tekken 7 roster that inadvertently came about because, oops, it did really well. We got a lot of characters in the backlog we can bring back as DLC. Okay. Armor King is like one of the top 3 most picked characters online, and he was a DLC character for a point of reference with that.
What am I really trying to clear out this whole stage? Alright, whatever. Yeah,
So I guess to give a more concrete answer to your question from earlier, I'm fine with like having the same character, but they play differently enough to have their own like distinctions of what they're good at. Like base Goku in Fighters is good at dumping fucking damage and having some neat close-up options. Super Saiyan Goku plays in neutral extremely well. Ultra Instinct is good at being, well, busted. But then you get to like more like direct clone characters, and I would not do any more than like 2 as like a costume select or something like that.
Well, I think to take it back to Simon and Richter, I think it's like Richter's A-button attacks, his physical attacks are better than Richter's, but Richter's special attacks with all of the sub-weapons are better than Simon's, if I'm remembering it correctly. So there's variation there. That's enough to make them slightly unique.
I feel like the A-button were the same, but I could be wrong about that. I haven't looked at Ultimate in a long time.
Cannot smother the growth of a flower.
And
A flower of love. A flower of peace.
And it also depends. Are these clones or echoes or variations, what have you? Do you have to pay for them?
Yeah, that's a better one.
Because the thing that people we're always talking about, it always goes back to Lucina and Dark Pit. But I think it was Sakurai himself that actually had to go out and make a statement saying, no, these characters are not taking slots away from other characters. They're things that we're able to do with free time. Things that are just nice bonuses that don't take up any extra time or any extra money. So they're not taking away other characters' potential chances to appear. On the other hand, if they're a character that you actually have to pay for that's a clone, that's a different story.
I just love how a marketing term was developed by Sakurai to immediately get rid of like the stigmata against clones, and they're just like, oh no, they're Echo Fighters, and literally everyone's totally fine with Echo Fighters from then on. I just find it to be extremely hilarious.
Sakurai has this magical power to both make everyone upset and then calm everyone down in a matter of seconds.
Yep.
With no effort. It's really funny.
The dude's crazy because the literal first bit of DLC for Smash Ultimate was a Piranha Plant, but then the last bit of DLC for Ultimate was also fucking Sora, so dude's got range.
He also really likes fucking with people sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah, Sora got people mad.
I think the grand majority of it was happy, but I think some were upset because he was confirmed to be pretty much the last DLC character.
Well, you know how it is with most things. The smallest group shouts the loudest.
Pretty much. I'll definitely give Sakurai credit. Going from Terry and Kazu, who are fairly technical, in-depth characters, well, Terry not so much, I guess, and going to Sora, who is like, you press the button and he does a thing. Oh, okay, cool.
As if I have been frozen in time.
He's a clone of fucking Luminary because he has the magic menu like Luminary does. Ugh.
See what you are capable of.
Wasted character.
See if you can withstand the fight of my sword.
I do kind of wish they went a little more forward with Sora, though, because I'm pretty sure he's based just off of Kingdom Hearts 1.
I mean, he's got costumes from the other games, but yeah, I'm pretty sure in terms of straight up gameplay, it's just Kingdom Hearts 1, yeah.
Which is funny, because I think you could probably make him pretty stupid broken if you gave him a shot lock from 3.
Probably. Hell, I'll go farther than that. The fucking ridiculous combo system he has even in 2.
Those eyes.
Yeah.
I know them.
Make the drive forms actually a thing and not just a costume.
I like to imagine that his combo system that he has, where he can almost one-shot touch of death people, is like what it would have been if just Dante was playable in Smash. For the record, I have no idea who was actually unironically asking for that. And I say that as the Devil May Cry fan.
I think the funniest part of that final Smash Direct, though, is getting that first-person POV shot of the fucking Doom Marine as the Mii costume.
That was very funny, but it's amazing he made it to the game whatsoever. Oh, hey, Kenshin's holding the sword backwards. Upside down.
Of defeat.
Yeah.
That's a neat detail.
He is my mentor, now and always.
Oh yeah, so
In his debt.
Kenshin is a little upset that his best friend is hospitalized and it's possibly dying, and it's basically Ieyasu's fault. So it's like, okay, you were trained by him. You're why he's in this condition now. Do you have what it takes to succeed him?
Wait, how is that Ieyasu's fault?
Attacking when he was ill.
I don't see how that's... I mean, it certainly didn't help, but I don't see how that him being sick is directly his fault.
I think I gave a poor choice of words. Such being the case, it's a lot more difficult for him to recover with
like obviously with the war going on outside, if you're suffering from COVID, that's not going to help your condition at all.
And stress really does make illness worse.
Yeah, like,
and his army right outside his house is losing a war.
like me driving 2 hours, gonna get specific here, through Montana into Oregon while I was recovering from my COVID shot and or possibly having COVID did not help my fever any at all.
Even someone as accomplished as Kenshin has arrived.
Yes, I did that. That was a poor decision on my part.
Tsunami is mine.
Yeah, that's why I'm not gonna make that.
Oh wait,
drive.
no, not Montana, Oregon. Fucking just driving through Idaho to the start of Oregon. Sorry, mix that up. That's a much more intimidating drive. But no, I just had to help Taylor so she wasn't driving literally the whole way. And then she literally drove the whole way from Oregon to Washington the following day anyway, because I still had a fever.
Yeah, I looked into that. I am not gonna make a 22-hour drive.
Don't. We did it. It was already pretty rough by itself.
Yeah, I don't relish
It's okay.
that
According
idea
to Taylor,
because I've
apparently airfare is actually fairly cheap these days.
It is. I actually looked into that. But no, even disregarding that, I've made the 12-hour drive before to San Francisco, and I don't relish doing that ever again.
God, Arizona to San Fran seems just so quick compared to what I've dealt with recently. Jesus.
Very well. You may have what you please.
Yeah, there's no direct route either. You have to go west first before you make
Before
that
you turn
long trek
north in
You actually have to
California,
go through. Yeah, you can't go diagonally northwest straight through from Arizona to it.
Yeah.
touch his life. And that is why it is my
I don't know why exactly Capcom decided to give Ieyasu a hood attached to a sweater hood attached to his getup, but it adds a good amount to his actual character design.
I think it was completing the boxer look, because you see boxers in movies that have
Fucking boxer look. That explains it. Sorry, I didn't piece that together sooner.
For the Little Mac or what have you effect, where they train with a sweater fully up, so that way they sweat
I feel
more.
really dumb for not noticing that he is literally just the boxer sooner.
I don't blame you. It's a lot more
I waited for the
apparent that he's supposed to be a Devil May Cry style.
I always figured he was just supposed to be like a schoolboy because of the costumes he gets later on.
Kenshin.
We will cross swords.
One of the costumes he gets in 4 Vanilla
But the tiger's
is
spirit
the
kills
male
not
Japanese
your
cheerleader
eyes, the
thing,
thirst
which
we
is
breed.
guy wearing long black coat and twirling a flag that has an icon on it and cheering for your homies.
Oh yeah, right.
Or fade to embers, but never let it.
What is that called? It's the thing that Jotaro is based off of too.
I think it's like the traditional like tough guy look that he usually gets tossed around with that look. Oh hey, Sailor Moon just joined with us, yay.
Numbers increase. Tsuruhime, the
Huh?
much-esteemed oracle,
Oh yeah.
a decision to join us.
The Oracle. She's really here.
She is. Pleased to meet you, Ieyasu.
So weird to seeing a
let's-
character actually
sure, let's go with
recruiting and
this.
melding with other characters and seeing them actually get along with them.
What prompted this, if I may ask?
Yukimura sorta
this
did it, but
apparently
he was
was-
going more his own way. Masamune didn't really recruit anyone. And Mitsunari just hates people.
I guess that is to be expected from Yoshitsugu.
It's the alliance, my lord.
Masamune is like, if you're here, cool. If you're not, whatever. Yukimura is like, please join me. I could really use your strength, and we can complete both of our goals together.
Please, change, sir.
Mitsunari is like-
I really need the assistance with taking care of the other guys.
He saw the acts of a villain.
And Mitsunari is like, you're either useful to me or you're dead. Make up your mind.
Lord Ieyasu,
Pretty
I
much.
have news. It concerns Motochika. Well, you see,
So they have interesting ways of dealing with things. And
But I do.
oh, hey, an actual thing in the story that we would never otherwise be able to
he has allied
confront is
with
actually happening.
forces, my lord.
There's a subplot in the background of
Now,
Motonari's story, and that's that
What?
he comes around doing a couple of false flag operations,
yes. Motochika was a friend to us all. His betrayal looms.
which is to say he'll send some of his own forces to go beat the shit out of another group's forces, and then plant the flag of another separate enemy faction there, and make it look like they did it instead.
Interesting. I wonder if
So
that's
he-
going to come around to be anything important later on.
I don't remember if we actually end up fighting Motochika directly. If it does, then no, we don't. But in Motochika's story, you find out
Why the long
that Motonari did that,
surprise?
and so he ends up getting to confront Motonari directly and say, "You son of a bitch! You turned me against my best friend and killed my men in the process. I'm going to fucking
I
kill
remember
you."
we've encountered Motonari at least once in one of the prior stories, but I do not remember for the life of me who the fuck it was. Was it Mitsunari?
It would have been as Mitsunari, and that would have been the stage when he recruited
Right.
him.
God, that was a while ago.
Because-
Because
Because Motonari doesn't deal in the central story a whole lot. He's a schemer, he does a lot of work behind the scenes. And his thing is that he doesn't care about the whole of the country, he just wants to keep his section, his island completely secluded.
Yeah. James, he seems like he would be a decent, like, more late game enemy to deal with.
Just be glad I don't start laughing in front of the men.
He is, depending on the medium, he ends up becoming one of the sub-main bad guys in the Basara 3 movie. It's like, hey, I'm gonna come in at the last minute with my whole army and my revived walking boat thing, and I'm gonna go trample over the rest of this battlefield that has 18 other factions
Yeah.
fighting that are already tired. And other times he's just not given a whole lot to do. Which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Probably depends on the game, then.
Well, he has another subplot going that I would love to display, but that would have to be done over the course of 2, 3, and 4.
Ooh.
So, not something that's really feasible.
No, not really. I don't imagine that either one or two are particularly decent Let's Play material.
It's something that if I was going to do, that'd be like, okay, I'll do that route in 2, I'll do that route in 3, and I'll do that route in 4, and then just cut those down to their bare elements, stitch them together, and then present that.
Yeah.
But suffice to say, he comes to a religious awakening.
Prove your claim. Give me your best.
Right, so we're fighting the Foxman now, and he's a bit of a bastard because he has that subplot going on in the background of kidnapping the wife of the Maeda faction,
Right.
and you don't. And at the same time, he's also like he's sort of a ruthless bastard because he's doing that too, but he's also like these people are trampling on my land. Let's go kill them. And it's like we're not going to do that. What's his name? And also, I think this is one of the cases where I ran into my recording fucking up. So I think there's actually a brief cut in towards the end of this. Where it was glitching out.
Was it Task Manager freaking the fuck out? Elgato will cut out on you sometimes if the CPU usage is too high.
Suppose we have no choice but to find another way.
No, my computer is plenty powerful for that. I think it was actually a power as an electricity issue.
Weird. All right.
Some things just cut out sometimes. Mercifully, I haven't had that problem much recently, but that was kind of annoying. Because it means that I would lose signal because it's the fucking PS3 in the middle of a stage. And so it's like I could pause, and it wouldn't be that big of an issue cutting back in there, but if I was in a cutscene, and the game saves after you beat a stage, well then I'm fucked. I'd have to restart the whole thing, and I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah, no.
Excuse me. Am I actually trying to... Oh, the boat's already there. What the hell am I doing? It's worth noting, if I haven't said this already, that I actually did most of these recordings anywhere from 11 to 3 in the morning.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's gonna be some weird shit then.
Because I recorded all of these before I started my current job, and that meant that I was getting off of work previously at 10 p.m. at night, getting home at 10:30, or getting off of the internship at the same time, 10:30, 11 o'clock.
Jeez, yeah.
So I wouldn't have time to do anything else in the day except for afterwards. Yoshiaki, that was his name.
I see what this is about. You're jealous of me, aren't you? Thanks.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm running on some really fucking weird hours right now, too, with Taylor out of the country for a little bit.
Country?
Well, still kind of within the U.S. It's Puerto Rico, but she'll be off the coast in a cruise for a little bit.
Oh, I remember seeing a Facebook post that said that she was in Texas or something. I didn't know she was actually going international, as it were.
Technically more international waters. Yeah, it's a thing through her college, which is apparently collecting some samples in open waters. So they're kind of booking a cruise for like a month to do that. It'd be interesting to see if
cool,
she can handle being on water for that long.
Seasick?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think she's ever been on water for that long before, so that'd be very interesting.
Have you?
I've gone canoeing, that's it.
But not actually on like an actual boat for more than like a day at a time.
Fuck no. Neither of my families have ever had that much money to go on a cruise before.
Just think, you might actually be able to afford a vacation within the year.
God, that's a very weird thought. That said, though, yeah, I should probably save it for a vacation of some form. I mean, I'm definitely coming back to Arizona at some point in the year, that's for sure.
The great part about that, though, is that the only thing you have to pay for there is your flight.
Yeah, I got fucking so many places I can crash at if I wanted to. Jesus.
I wouldn't advise taking your eyes off these fists.
Yeah, it's the same.
Seeing Han on the screen just now just reminded me, yeah, we haven't actually seen him in a plot whatsoever recently. I'm wondering what's going on with that.
Oh yeah, so he's one of the playable characters. He has 3 to 5 stories too, and the way that works is Ieyasu just sends him off on a mission all his own, which is, hey, there's someone else here. There's someone else whose help I need, but I don't have the time right now to go and recruit them myself. Can you do it for me, Tadakatsu? And so that's kind of cute, seeing him recruit characters that Ieyasu doesn't want to deal with.
The idea of a giant man-machine mountain that just makes robot engine noises trying to recruit someone is admittedly a very funny prospect.
There are none in this world that compare to me.
Like, the 2 of them that stick out to me offhand are the old man in the parkour stage, and the other is Tsuruhime herself. And that's because she'll join with him, but only if he helps out her first. And her goal is to catch up to Kotaro Fuma because she fell in love with the ninja man, the silent one.
The completely silent ninja man whose face you don't even see. Alright.
Yeah, so it's like, if you help me catch up with him, then I'll help you with whatever you want afterwards. And Tadakatsu was like, which means sure, whatever.
I was gonna say, man, engage in dialogue.
Oh boy. I've known this man long enough to brace for the devilry.
Dude, how much this is gonna do? Ah, he didn't walk into the circle, damn it.
It extends slightly outside of the actual circle's range by like a couple
I just
inches.
love how it doesn't blow enemies outside of the circle. It just flops them near him.
For all intents and purposes, it's basically Heat Dome.
Yeah, in essence. Yeah, you get heat dome. I was going more super explosive way, but just going upwards, but yeah.
Tower. It makes a tower of light, basically.
Yeah.
No, visually it's Dragon Fist.
You know what? Yeah, not too far off the mark. Or Nappa's finger explosion thing.
But yeah. Damn it, I had a thing and I lost it.
Problem I face is how to maintain being so amazing.
I do love this guy, though. I've said that probably 3 or 4 times now.
Do say so myself.
You just can't beat Chris Smith.
No less than what I'd expected. You and your mighty fists. And my baton. Where would we be without it?
I don't get baton out of that sword, but okay.
Mind your head, Dark King.
Oh wait, it's not even a sword. It's like a
supposed to be a
weird
rapier.
pool cue.
Yoshiaki, I intend to let Mitsunori...
The model changes with the difficulty. It's supposed to be a
Oh, okay.
rapier.
What nonsense is that? You want to win the battle or don't you?
That's a fucking godlike nose he has.
I will.
No.
What now?
I was gonna say that, Chris Smith.
My existence?
Oh, was that
Yeah,
the cutting
that
out
was
you were
where
talking
the
about? Because I
thing-
did see it skip a little bit beforehand.
Yeah, it was skipping and cutting, and it's like, by the time it came back, it was already on this screen, so I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's gonna be a pretty jarring cut either way, so I may as well throw a clip in.
Fair enough. Yeah.